like the brother said, this is where it starts. God bless America. Very patriotic. I don't think there's no. I've been to Europe. I've been to a few other places, and around the world, and I really think there's no place in the world like America. But we got to remember that we only a few years old. This is one of the youngest nations in the world. So we knew we're gonna make some mistakes, but it's founded on slavery. The whole nation. Today, more than ever, I think we're dismantling the system. One of my elders said, how do you destroy racism, white supremacy? And stop believing that it exists. So if we continue to believe that somebody's more powerful or supreme than us, then we will act accordingly. But there's an old saying that says, if you give a man a fish, you will feed him for the day. But if you teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for the rest of his life. Here, Department of Education in the United States of America is a script. Even as we speak, they're trying to erase slavery from the history. They calling them servants now in the history books, and the majority of the history is being erased. And if you don't know where you come from, you won't know where you're going. And if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Yeah. So it's important, it's imperative that we keep the conversation alive. I believe that there's no way we're gonna tear down something that took us hundreds of years to build overnight. But if we start with educating ourselves, educating our neighbors, educating our children, educating even our elders, because a lot of our elders are the reason why things are the way they are. Complacent black folks and silent white folks. Yeah. Everybody else in between. The brother said earlier, besides the Native Americans, everybody in America is an immigrant, except for black folks. We did not immigrate here. We didn't want to be here. We didn't have no choice in the matter. So when this nation was founded, it was founded with some citizens already naturalized, that you could say, right? Because the European immigrants, they were immigrants. The Native Americans, this was their land. But the people, the black folks, the descendants of slaves, we didn't have no choice in the matter. We're not immigrants. We are the first American people. We are the first American people. The Native Americans don't call themselves Americans. They had other names for this land before we changed it to America. And the immigrants, the European immigrants, they'll tell you they're English, they're descendants of English or Irish or Spanish. Us black folks have no clue. We call ourselves Africans, and people from Africa call themselves Guyanese, from Senegal or Kenyans, right? We black. We're American. I'm black and I'm proud. I'm an American man. But in order to start a change, it has to start with education. It has to start with education. We got to educate ourselves on how to eat, educate ourselves on how to communicate with people who don't look like us or don't do the things we do or pray the same way we pray. We need black history, which is American history. We need to learn the foundation. I started teaching the brother about the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence talks about our rights, not just our rights, but our responsibility. You have a responsibility as an American citizen that when one power is oppressing the people, it is not your right, but it's your responsibility to overthrow the system. And not because it's not allowing me to smoke weed or do silly things, but it says when it's becoming oppressive to the people. It's the whole foundation of America. It's the system that was put in place in Europe or England or wherever it was oppressing the people and taxing them too much. And so they decided to overthrow the system, and not peacefully either. It's a war. The American Revolution was a war, a violent war. And it was to overthrow an oppressive system. I don't expect us to be violent, because we learned from that war that America's a place of refuge. America's a place where if your country was not treating you right and not allowing you the opportunities to practice your faith or speak freely against your oppressors, you were able to come to America and do that. And I just appreciate y'all here, but I just wanted to bring the march here. All right.